Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today we're going to be playing some more M21 Standard with a deck that's kind of existed for a little while. However, some new M21 cards have recently surfaced that make me want to play it. So we're going to be playing Dredge today. Dredge is all about the graveyard. It's almost an all-in strategy. In our particular case, it pretty much is. If our graveyard gets interacted with, we're going to be sad. But it's all built around the new card Silver Smoke Ghoul for 1, a 3-mana 3/1 that says at the beginning of your end step, if you gain 3 or more life this turn, return Silver Smoke Ghoul from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. You can pay 1 and a black to sacrifice the ghoul and draw a card. So if we have that life gain trigger already enabled, we can sacrifice this before our end step and then just bring it on back, which is pretty cool. So that's one of the build arounds. We've also got a 1-of copy of Demonic Embrace as well. A 1 and double black for a kind of Rancor-esque aura here. Gives +3, +1 and flying and a demon creature type to whatever creature we use to attach it to. And if it's in our graveyard, we may discard a card from our hand and pay 3 life rather than pay any of this other's costs, which is pretty cool. That means we can turn our Uros into 9 4s with 9 7s, sorry, with flying. Don't know why I said 4. But yep, for 3 mana, we got to play around with our Uros. This has very much a Graveyard Matters synergy with the escape trigger there. We can pay double green, double blue to exile 5 cards from our graveyard and return Uro from the graveyard to the battlefield, doing its thing, which is gaining 3 life. That's very specific as well. 3 life means Silver Smoke Ghouls gets triggered. If any of them are in the graveyard, we bring back all of them, which is great. Same thing goes for Creeping Chill as well from Ravnica. 4 mana sorcery, it deals 3 damage to each opponent and you gain 3 life. For 4 mana, it's not very good. However, for free, it's fantastic, because whenever Creeping Chill is put into your graveyard from your library, you may exile it, and if you do, you get to do the activated ability on that one, the 3 damage and 3 life. So the Silver Smoke Ghouls come back. We've also got Narcomoebas. If they get milled over, they come into play. Fiend Artisan cares about all the creatures in our graveyard, so we can get some really big stuff. Lazav here, secretly the best card in the deck, does some really fun stuff. 2 mana for a 1/3. When Lazav enters the battlefield, you get to surveil one, so it's basically Scry, but graveyard instead of bottom. And you can also pay the X to make Lazav become a copy of a creature in your graveyard with converted mana cost X, except, and this is important, its name is Lazav in its legendary in addition to its other types and has this ability. So essentially we can have 2 copies of Uro in play. If Uro is in the graveyard, we can pay 3 mana on Lazav, so we can have a turn 3 Uro that's effectively escaped with Lazav, which is great. We can start attacking in with it, and we can also have an Uro in play, because the way the legend rule works is you can't have 2 legendary creatures with the same name. Lazav maintains its name, so we can have Lazav the Uro, and we can have Uro the Uro, so that's 2 6/6s that gain us 3 life and draw us cards. It's a really awesome combo, so we're going to be trying to leverage that as much as possible. Finally, we've got a little bit of an aura or a saga package. We've got the Binding of the Titans. This one allows you to mill 3 cards from each player, exiling up to 2 cards to gain 1 life on the chapter 2, which we can combo with a Maya Triton who gains 2 life when we mill 2 here to gain that 3 life again for the Silver Smoke Ghouls. And then the mine on the chapter 3, allows us to return a land or creature card from our graveyard to our hand. So usually it's going to be something like a Lazav, a Fiend Artisan for that big boy pressure, or it could just be for another Uro activation. It does force us to pull the creature out of the yard, which can be bad and good depending on the situation. 2 copies of Timuret Calls the Dead, also mills 3, but this one makes zombies whenever we exile a creature enchantment as part of the chapters. And then we also get to gain life and Scry X, where X is the number of zombies we control. The Silver Smoke Ghouls are actually zombie vampires. Maya Triton's also a zombie as well, so we can get some really good action on that chapter 3 in potentially anyway. So yeah, that's essentially the deck. The mana base, there's nothing actually too exciting about it. We've got some Zagoth Triomes because we're in Sultai, 2 Fable Passages to fix the mana base. Actually probably want to go down a swamp and up a forest just for the Uro, since it's got that very restrictive escape cost, but I've never actually ran into a situation where Uro's escape cost is too difficult to cast, to be perfectly honest, so the mana base might just be where it wants to be. And then we've got 4 of each on color Shockland, and that is the deck. If you do enjoy the content, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, you know the drill, and I'll see y'all next time. This video is brought to you by the generous support of our wonderful patrons and channel members that you see here. If you'd like to support the channel and get access to cool content like sneak peeks, bonus videos, polls on future content, or access to a personal deck critique from myself every month, then hit the join button down below, or check out the Patreon link in the description. With all that said, let's get into the gameplay. Alrighty then, we're in, and I think this hand seems fine. We've got Lazav plus Maya Triton. Lazav could be a turn 3 Uro, so we'll give it a shot. And we'll lead off with, I think, just an Overgrown Tomb. Not sure it matters either way, to be honest. Gonna have to shock next turn anyway, and I guess Maya Triton can undo the mill. Narcomoeba, up there on worst possible draws we can have. I think I might go with Lazav first, to be honest, because if it's a land, I'll want it. And I don't want Maya Triton to inevitably roll over my good stuff. It's more of a, I think I'm going to get very unlucky kind of play, rather than I think this is the best possible play we could make. Alright, opponent leads off with an Is It Guildgate? So gates of some sort, I think, is definitely a given. Let's do Maya Triton. See if we can mill anything good. Nope. Alright. Yeah, we're definitely going to be a product of RNGesus here. And RNGesus is not my friend. So we'll get down you so that we can potentially, I don't know, if we draw a land, we can sack the Maya Triton to get an Uro into the graveyard. Gates ablaze for our opponent, sure. And, well, where do we go from here? Could go with the Silver Smoked Ghouls, just so we've got that kind of damage going. Or we could go for the mill with Timuret Calls the Dead and start making zombies. Hitting some creeping chills and whatnot. I think we'll go with the Ghoul first. So we can get that damage going, or at least force our opponent to kind of interact with it. Gate Breaker Ram. Alrighty then. Well, I can make it a 6-2 with flying. Another Gates Ablaze would make that very bad. It's got Trample on the Gatebreaker Ram, so the Narcomoebas are just not going to do anything. I think we might have to just race with the Demonic Embrace. I don't know. We could get there. We'll have to see. It all depends on if we can Creeping Chill our opponent and then not have another Gates Ablaze. Or anything that removes this creature. Yep. But they had it. They were confident enough to not even need to play their gate first. Alright, Lazav, help me. Creeping Chill into the yard, alright. It's a good start. We'll drain for 3. And we'll go Narcomoeba. And because we gain 3, Silver Smoke Ghoul comes back. We can actually discard and pay 3 on the Demonic Embrace. And discard the Narcomoeba next turn so we can buff up our boys. I actually might do that and have Lazav become a copy of Fiend Artisan if we get a land. Which it looks like we do. Alright, so Lazav X2 becomes a copy of Maya Triton. Demonic Embrace sends it over the top. We pay 3. Discarding Narcomoeba. And swing for 9. Yeah! A really horrible hand from us, but we actually managed to get there. Nice. Nice. Alrighty then, we're in, and this looks like a keepable hand to me. We're on the draw with 2 lands, so we can technically lead off with Watery Grave for the Venture Deeper, but I think I'll probably go for a Fabled Passage and crack it for a Forest, and then go for maybe a turn 2 Maya Triton instead. I think that's probably just a little bit better. All depends on the aggressive state of our opponent, I suppose, and an Alseed usually says something along the lines of Primates matter kind of decks. We'll have to see, but so far we're sticking on track. Yep, it is a Primate deck. So they're going to have to trade off their Alseed just to get past my Maya Triton here, which is not too bad. So, game 2, got Demonic Embrace entering the graveyard. Not too bad. So, do they have the answer? They have an additional Primate. And Indestructible. Okay, so they have it all, is what you're telling me. I'll force them to use some of it, because I can't win if they don't. Yep. They killed the dog. That makes me a better person than them, a horrible person. You know the rules. Yeah, and this hand suddenly just falls flat on its face, to be honest. Let's mill 4 and see if we can hit some creatures to make a bigger Fiend Artisan. Well, we hit an Archamoeba, so it's a blocker. And yeah, I guess I kind of just have to go Fiend Artisan as a 3/3. So if they can't gain any life on the spot, then we can offer a trade with Ajani's Primate, which is effectively a trade with the Alseed, but it's better than nothing. Yeah, let's just force them to use it, and we won't take that block just yet. That Primate's getting bigger, definitely. Wow, they actually offered the trade. And then doubles Speaker. So if they get to, I think it's 27? Yeah, 27 life, they get to make some Angel tokens. But that doesn't seem to be happening anytime soon. I think we have to go with Fiend Artisan as a 4/4 here. And a Merfolk's Secret Keeper. And pass the turn. If they want to gain life off those Speaker of the Heavens, they're going to have to throw them under the bus. And a Daxos can give them enter the battlefield life gain triggers. So we're just going to offer this trade. Because they kill their Alseed. Oh no, because Daxos gets pumped as well. Oh, it's a death trigger on Daxos. That is annoying. Ooh, hello, Uro. But Fiend Artisan is a 5/5 now. A virtual 6, so that Primate is still kind of locked down. No creature means I don't have to double block. You really want to offer? No, they don't. They want to get me with an Arden Veil, so I'm going to double block here, so the maximum that Primate can become is a 6/6. Yeah, this is fine by me. Primate is without a doubt the most dangerous card they could offer to the battlefield. I'm going to go with, I think, an Uro and try for a Binding of the Titans. Although I could see Silver Smoke Ghoul as well, just so that they can't get in with the Speaker of Heavens. Or even Timuret Calls the Dead, to be honest. But I think getting an Uro down is probably very good, because we can actually activate it next turn if we find the right land. Ah, Creeping Chill. You're both good and absolutely abysmal. Linden, oh dear. And that is our opponent making 4/4s in the air. Yeah, this could have gone worse, but this is as bad as it needs to be for us to get Ruffle stomped. Yeah, we just can't come back from that. Drawing Creeping Chills. Our opponent with all the protection for their Primates, and then a top deck Linden, taking them straight up to 34 life. There's just no way you're beating that. No way that is getting beaten at all. Yeah, I mean, what can you do? I've got 3 mana plays and 4 lands. So I can only do one thing a turn, and any one thing that we do here is not good enough. Let's play Timuret Calls the Dead and see what we would have drawn. A load of garbage, mostly. Yep, okay. We tried our best, but Speaker of the Heavens getting to 27 just means they win the game. We're not really trying to pressure our opponent's life total in that way. So, you know, we'll just accept defeat and keep not blocking. Yeah, it's a bad matchup. Alrighty then, we're in, and this hand looks fine. We've got decent mana. We don't have a turn 1 play, which is less than ideal, but a Zagoth Triome just does allow us to play pretty much whatever we want without having to lose life, so I'll take this one, and we'll just hope for that turn 4 Uro, I guess, off of Lazav. Because we got the mana for it. It's Kitty Familiar. Alright, I think I will start... Where will I start? If I went with Lazav, I could technically surveil an Uro off the top, or get a Creeping Chill off the top, or an Archimeber off the top. If I went with Secret Keeper, I could get many of those things, but I couldn't play Lazav until turn 3. Which means I'm not attacking with Lazav until turn 4, so I could take the chance that there's an Uro on top and have a turn 3 Lazav into Uro. But according to my deck tracker, that's a 6% chance of happening, so I don't think I'm taking that chance. I think I'm just going to mill over my graveyard, hit a Silver Smoke Ghoul, which is actually really good to hit. That means Uro next turn brings back a 3-1. That's honestly what we want. Cruel Celebrant. Alright, so it's Aristocats. Another Lazav. I believe the correct play is just to go with Uro here. So let's do that. Let's hope that we don't hit any of the things we don't want to draw. Yep, Fiend Artisan's fine. And we'll get the Swamp into play. Because we gain 3 life, Silver Smoke Ghoul comes back tapped. And we can actually sack it to draw a card if we really want to. Luros for our opponent is not ideal, I suppose, but we get to go Lazav here, and then Fiend Artisan. Silver Smoke Ghoul into the graveyard for sure, because we can attack with Uro, or Lazav copied on Uro next turn. And yeah, we're definitely attacking him with the Ghoul here. Opponent never blocks in a million years. Yeah, we gain 3 life on the attack trigger with Lazav, so that's going to be really nice. I'm gonna block. So veto means that we lose 3 life off that life gain trigger. Or lose 4 life, technically. I don't think I particularly care about that when I've got Uro doing its thing next turn. We want a land so I can sack the Ghoul. Alright, so Lazav becomes a copy of Uro. And I think we actually just swing in. We see if our opponent blocks the Silver Smoke Ghoul. We've gained the 3 life, so the Ghouls will come back on end step. Our opponent takes it all. Okay, so I can sack the Ghoul to draw a card. Or I can play any of my cards I have in hand. What would I like to do? That's a tough one. We've made our land drop for the turn, so I would be tapped out with nothing to do. I guess I'll go for a mill and see if we can hit Creeping Chills and more Ghouls. We hit another Ghoul. Alright, so that's another Ghoul coming back on end step. Oh, yes. Could also look for that Demonic Embrace as well, so we can swing over the top with Lazav. 8 cards in the yard. Does that mean that we can... I think we can Uro next turn as well. Grey Merchant. Oof. That is a lot of damage. Yep. We're at 7. At 4 total. Oh, 3, 5 total. Okay. I think we might be about to die, to be honest. Alright, let's go with Uro, you, and you, as well as a Timuret Calls the Dead. We want to keep creatures in the yard because of future Fiend Artisans. So let's get an Uro into play. Does not get Legend Ruled because it has a different name to Lazav, so we get to keep both. And still only one blue mana is disappointing, to say the least. So we're going to die to our opponent's life gain trigger here, unless... assuming they don't have another Grey Merchant, that is, anyway. So they're going to attack... and at least make us lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 life. 10 total with the life gain triggers. I think we just swing in, because anything they block, at least Silver Smoke Ghoul-wise, just comes back. Oh, we've got double block triggers now. What do we do with that? We don't want to give them the death trigger, so I don't think I want to... I think I actually do this, and I go with double Merfolk Secret Keeper as the 0/4 blockers. I'm not quite sure on that one. Getting Devotion off the boards could be relevant. But we could also just be dead. I don't know. We'll see. Yep, we're at 5. We go blocker, blocker. We don't have to kill our opponent's creatures. So we're going down to 3 on this board state alone if they activate Veto. But that's their entire turn, so they need... I don't know if they can win, to be honest. What could they do here? Land and Revenge, I guess? If they've got the Revival Revenge combo. I don't think they got it. Oh, they've got Revival. Okay. So a Luros to make us lose 3 life on the block. Trigger there with the Cauldron Familiar takes us to 3. Witch's Oven sacks the Familiar. Oh, that's exactly it. God, I hate cat combo. No! Ah. Anything we can do here? I don't think so. If we could mill over a Creeping Chill, we'd be in the game, but... yeah, that'll do it. I think we were really close to stabilizing there, but... opponent made their cat go in and out of the graveyard a few times. Too many, so... you know, good game, I guess. Alrighty then, let's have a look-see. This hand's not that exciting. I think it's fine, though. We got 2 shock lands that we basically have to play for a Lazav, but then we've got Timuret Calls the Dead to start milling over and hopefully getting a Uro into the graveyard for him. Temple of Mystery. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Breeding Poo, eh? I don't think it matters either way, as long as we play the Overgrown Tomb or a Black Sauce next turn. Black Sauce in general, I suppose, is really what we need to do here. Ketria Triome. Team of Colours and mills me. Would you like to eat a Creeping Chill? Nice 1 mana drain yourself for 3. Yeah, I wouldn't be milling me anymore. That's probably not advised. Alright, well, since we've got the excess lands, the excess life, we can go with the Lazav off of the Overgrown Tomb quite happily now. And there's an Uro for a turn 3 Uro next turn. And this suddenly turned into the nut draw, so mill me again. Do it. Do it, you coward. Oh, Chava. Oh, Chava. I'm so sorry. Okay, Forest down. 3 mana. Could be an Uro of their own. Do we have a... We don't have a Silver Smoke Ghoul in there. We do have a Stone Coil Serpent, however. For that good old multicolored protection. And we've hit a Creeping Chill, which is not ideal, but I think we don't really care about Stone Coil Serpent all that much, to be honest. When we're constantly activating Uro's attack trigger every turn. You will be tapped. Our opponent will take the easy block here. Perhaps they are a Song of Creation deck. Going to be leveraging 0 drops and self-mill. Perhaps to enable Song of Creation. Kiora Behemoth Beckoner, eh? So we do have the Demonic Embrace in the graveyard to give Uro, or Lazav in this case, flying. The problem is that Stonecoil Serpent also has reach, so it doesn't do us a whole lot of good. Let's see, we got 4 cards in the yard. We want to actually build that up a little bit. So let's go with Timuret Calls the Dead. And get that growing a bit. We will get rid of the Binding of the Titans. And I will just play a Narcomoeba here, I think. Swing at... I mean, just keep swinging at our opponent. Play an Island. I guess there was a situation where if we didn't play the Narcomoeba there, we could have played Silver Smoke Ghoul. It was probably a little bit hasty of me. I don't know. I can't quite remember the exact mana combination, but I think there was a Warrior Grave untapped. Or at least a Black Source. But we have Uro next turn if we really want it. I don't think we want to just completely mill over this graveyard, but there is a Timuret Calls the Dead activation here. Alright, so it's Teferi's Tutelage. So they are definitely a mill deck. Kiora seems very strange to me as part of this deck. Hello. Who might you be? And mills me, hits the Narcomoeba. Yeah, they're going to have to kind of mill me in one big swoop, though, to be fair. Otherwise, everything they do is just punishing themselves. Alright, this might be an Uro. It's another Teferi's Tutelage. Okay. Mill me. See how well that goes for you. As I said, if they mill me quick enough, it's going to be okay. But if they don't, they're probably going to lose. I mean, they've got double Uro activations from this point until the end of time coming their way. We hit a Creeping Chill. So, take 3, opponent. You're at 14. Oh, you just love it. Okay, mill 3, Narcomoeba and a Creeping Chill enters the bin. We will get rid of Merfolk Secret Keeper for a zombie. And give our opponent a good draining. Good stuff. What's our graveyard looking like? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No! Sorry about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the forest. I'm gonna silence my phone before I get called back again. Alright, sorry about that. Let's go with Water Grave untapped. Play another Timuret Calls the Dead. We'll mill ourselves. Don't you worry, opponent. We don't mind. I will get rid of a Binding of the Titans. I want to just pressure my opponent as much as humanly possible here. So that I can end this match quickly and ring back that person who rang me. Because God knows I'm going to get another call. Alright. Fiend Artisan, Silver Smoke Ghoul. Okay, that's coming back into play later. 20 cards left. Song of Creation. Alright, let's see if they can do it. They need lots of 0 drops to chain. So, Secret Keeper draws 2. Mills us quite a fair bit. They could put us in a position where they lock our... yeah, I'll have a Narcomoeba. Where they lock our Lazavs out of attacking, or my Uros, sorry. They haven't managed to do that just yet, but if they can keep playing, Who knows? I mean, they might have got it.
Let's get moving.
Incubation Druid, draw 2. It's a mill 8. Yeah, we've used all of our creeping chills at this point. Our last one's in our hand, actually. 4 cards. They need to play one thing here, and they win. But they're out of mana. No! Oh, God! Oh, good. Oh, good. Alright, so... Oh, no! We've milled. Uh-oh. It appears we have no cards in our yard. Okay. So, in order to stop this, we need to... Creeping Chill. Take you to 4. Oh, we're going to get you to 1. Although we can go Lazav. Lazav becomes a Fiend Artisan. I believe is the correct pick. So he's at 16-16, something like that. Forced to block. So we swing with everything but Uro, so we don't die to our own attack trigger. And I think that's enough. Block there, block there, block there. Yeah, definitely enough. Oh, I got a little bit cocky, I won't lie. I milled myself with a Timuret Calls the Dead that I did not need to mill myself with. Oh, dear. But we got there. -2 for our opponent. 0 cards in the yard for us. Whew. Yeah, that was pure cockiness. I wasn't exactly doing the ideal thing. Because, you know, our opponent is benefiting us by milling, obviously. But we don't want to help them necessarily with that task. We want to just let them do it. Which is... It's definitely something that we definitely help them. We definitely help them, but, yeah, wasn't good enough. Sweet deck from our opponent, though. Alright, we're in. This hand looks good. We're going to keep it. Our opponent is keeping theirs as well. Okay, so I think I'm going to just straight up lead off with a self-mill here. Could be very bad if our opponent's playing aggro. But we managed to get a Silver Smoke Ghoul into the yard. Confirmed not aggro enough. Fabled Passage cracks for a forest. Alright. So I'm just going to lead off with a Maya Triton here to mill over some more. We hope to hit the things like Creeping Chill and Narcomoeba there, but we didn't. Could have even hit Silver Smoke Ghoul and been pretty happy with that since we got the Uro giving us the smoked trigger here. So it's actually like Simic Ramp by the looks of things. So we're going to get the Uro going. Gains us the 3 life. Puts... I don't think Secret Keeper's going to matter. So I don't think I really just care to shock myself unnecessarily. So I'll just put the Overgrown Tomb into play tapped. Swing for 2. Death Touch means they won't block. And Silver Smoke Ghoul comes out of the yard. Ghoul could be pretty good at blocking land tokens from our opponent if it is indeed that kind of deck. It looks like it's Elementals, actually. Elemental Tribal. We have 6 cards in the yard. The only reason we can't activate Uro is because our mana base won't let us. This swamp is getting in the way. But we can fix that right now if we really wanted to. Do we really want to? Or should we go for something else? I think we've got to, right? Let's go Breeding Poo. Escape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're not losing anything of value there, so I'm pretty happy with this particular escape trigger. And the earlier we can do this, the better as well. Let's go with Fabled Passage to thin the deck. I'm sure eventually that won't actually do anything. And we're going to go Maya Triton to see if we can hit some more ghouls. We got the swamp there, so let's grab an island. Play Maya Triton. We do hit a ghoul. Alright, so we've got some reanimation coming this turn. If they block the ghoul, it would come back, so they're not going to do that. And I think we've got a pretty decent board state set up here. Like, they have to kill Uro in addition to everything else if they've got some sort of board wipe, like a flame sweep. I don't think they would, but you never know, I suppose. Growth Spiral. This could just be them ramping straight into Ugin the Spirit Dragon, which definitely would be miserable. I might, for that reason, hold open the Silver Smoke Ghoul activations so we can sack them in response. I'm just going to get swinging anyway. Drew a Creeping Chill. We'll pay 2. I don't think our life total is actually relevant here. And, well, they've decided blocking is not worth their time. I guess they were... I mean, they look like Temur Elementals, so maybe they didn't have Ugin in here, but there was a hell of a lot of ramp into nothing there. So I guess this was more ramp. I really don't know on that one. But we kind of got the deck to do what it wanted to do there. Pretty happy. We got plenty of ghouls coming in and out. We drew a Creeping Chill instead of milling it over, but yeah, I think I've managed to showcase the deck today. It's very hit or miss, for sure. It's very heavily dependent on how lucky you are, so results may vary. As you may notice, mine's very heavily skewed in either one way. I can either be very, very lucky or very, very unlucky. I'd never really experienced the middle ground, you know? Confirmation bias, I know. But I don't know. I think I'm either very unlucky or very lucky. It's usually either one or the other, but yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's deck. If you did, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. There'll be a link down to the Ether Hub in the description below if you want to build this yourself. I do not recommend it if you want to play it as someone who wants to win. It is a bit of fun, but fun it certainly is. So yeah, if you do go to the Ether Hub link and you've got an Ether Hub account, make sure to hit the follow on my profile as well. So you'll get hopefully a feed where you get to see all the new decks that I play and get to play all my old ones and things like that. I greatly appreciate it. It's very good to help the channel out that way. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.